Hello, so I'm going to do a series of short videos just discussing the changes between Ultratest 1 and Ultratest 2 for the Reforged testing update. So in this first video I'll be going over the replays and training rooms feature. So starting off with training rooms, you can now create a training room. And there are a few options. I mean, before you could create a training room, but you can create one and enter battle on your own. There are a few options for team size, not too sure why. You have to enable show enemy tanks, as that is off by default. But then once you create the room, you can just start battle with only yourself as the sole player in the training room. Another change they have made is that you don't have to click off and back on a tank to change it like I just did there. Now, if you do want to change a tank, you can just click once and whoops, and it will change. So I have Object 260 selected. Let's say I want the 268 version 4, and then it is now selected. Now if I go back to the garage and select the Foch 155 and now go back into the training room, the issue is still there where the tank you selected in the garage does not show up in the training room. So you do still have to go back in the training room and select it. One issue of the training room interface is that you still can't filter tanks. So if I wanted to go find a tier 8 vehicle, for example, I'd have to go scroll down very far to find where tier 8 is, and also there is a sound bug happening right now. So here I have found tier 8, T49 for example, and you can see it is now selected in the training room, but you saw how far I had to scroll for that. And now if I wanted to go back to find tier 10, I'd have to scroll very far in the other direction, as you can see. So not having a filter, rather inconvenient for the training room interface. But now I will dismiss the room. There is also a feature they added, I think it wasn't in before, where you can spectate either allies or all players. This wasn't in Ultratest 1 as far as I know. So the next the next feature I want to show is replays. So replays were just shoved into this version of the game as we'd been testing out Reforged for the last few weeks, and replays weren't a thing. So there will be bugs and stuff with replays as they are not a finished feature. But you can see here you access them by the battle results screen, and then to play a replay you have to first download it or something like that, and once you do it will have this play icon. So again, replays were just shoved into this update just yesterday, so they aren't a finished feature, and there are likely quite a few bugs, and I have tried playing a few replays and a good amount of the time the game has crashed on me, so don't expect them to be working 100% properly. So here you'll see the replay sort of interface. It's like the current version of replays. There are a few differences. You'll see the rewind button, of course, is one of them, and it works, which is very cool. But here is something that is a bit annoying about replays. You can see I've paused it, but the engine sound does not stop. It continues going on even while the replay is paused, which is quite annoying. There's also no freecam. I'm pressing C right now, which is the freecam activation, and you can't use freecam. So replays do work though, you can see I'm playing the replay just fine. One thing that is odd though is that even zooming in does not show up in the replay. So you can see it looks like I'm taking a very long range shot from the Progetto, but I am actually fully zoomed in. And you can see there are 3 levels of zoom, and I was zoomed in all the way there and it wasn't showing up in the replay. Now I'm going to quickly show the rewind feature, so you can see I've rewinded here. And there's a bit of a bug where it shows sort of weird reload numbers when you do that, but you can see the replay rewind feature does work, as it does take you back a few seconds in the replay, which is definitely an upgrade compared to before, and of course going forward works as well. But yeah, basically that is it for the replays. You can also see something else is they've changed back the colour code from cyan and sort of orangey red to green and red, which is nice. It's what players are really used to for the battle interface. And you'll also notice crew voices. I have Duncan as the commander, but my crew voices are the original crew voice. So I'll talk more about that in the video where I do commanders. But yeah, that is also back. That is it for the replay function, basically. The replays also aren't in order, which is unfortunate. The order seems to be fairly random, but hey, at least replays do exist in Reforged now. But yeah, not a fully finished feature, and training rooms do still have a few issues, but they have fixed some of them at least, so that is good. But yeah, that is it for replays and training rooms in Ultratest 2 in terms of the changes at least. Thanks for watching.